Good day, everyone. We are the Group 2. Our research study is entitled The Status of Philippine Folk Dances Among 21st Century Students of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, San Isidro Campus.
Purpose of the study: identify any potential challenges and opportunities for preserving and promoting these traditional forms of expression. Conducting research on the current state of these dances, the researcher can gain a greater understanding of their history and cultural importance.
According to Bannon 2010, dancing is an intellectual, physical, and sensorial response to experiences of the world. Many theorists advocate that the integration of our physical, intellectual, and emotional selves can occur in dancing, and the holistic benefits of education can be understood through dancing. Moreover, it can teach children to dwell their own body and find out the untapped potential and heightening their self-awareness. Folk dance is an essential part of the Filipino culture. It depicts our ancestors' values and their way of life and reflects the influences of hundreds of years under foreign occupation. Nonetheless, as time progresses and modernization enters in all aspects of life, the Filipino youth starts to lose their interest in folk dances. Cruz and Tulao 2015. Philippine folk dance is a genre of contemporary arts of the Philippines. Many believe that folk dance can best be defined as people's ordinary dance they have learned by looking at and emulate from others. Most of the students nowadays are not fully aware of the different folk dances and its relation to their cultural heritage. The Philippines has 7,107 islands, and each island has different folk dances that mirrors their beliefs, customs, and traditions. Folk dance is really a way of preserving the cultural heritage. Habinya 2021. While it is true that people today should acculturate themselves to the growing world culture, all the more, a global citizen must not sacrifice one's own culture. It is in their own cultural awareness that they learn moral and ethical dispositions which can guide the understanding of individuals or groups of local and global context, and remind them of their relative responsibilities within various communities. Bartel 2010.
To the call of globalization, the Philippines is responding well, but in no time, efforts toward cultural awareness might be jeopardized because of the tough competition from media and technological landscape that surround the young generations. Carmela Maris, a principal, said the public school system is not helping matters. The cafeteria-style curriculum, combined with the educators' unwillingness to place demand on the students, has resulted in steady decline of commonly shared information between generations and young people themselves. Dr. Remedios Taguba, former director of the Department of Education of the Philippines, said many students who have graduated from high school in the recent past have been deprived of the cultural vocabulary that was common to educated persons in the past generations. They must be reintroduced to the cultural vocabulary that continues to be the foundation of literate national communication. This paper is about folk dance. It's considered all as folk dance and call attention to the way in which the presentations and description of these dances tell a local narrative of the Philippine nation. He argued that the positioning of dances along the line of the dominant version of the country's cultural history refine cultural identities and mark them as fixed temporal points. Such positioning can be seen in the classification used by scholars and performers to categorize folk dances in the countries. This classification involves a process of formalization and ritualization, characterized by reference to the past, if only by imposing repetition. As particular dancing tradition practiced in different cultural communities in the Philippines and folklorized this day, the public school system incorporates the learning of folk indigenous, ethnic, traditional, and creative dances as part of the physical education curriculum. In the Philippine High School for the Arts, folk dance is the one of the two tracks for dance majors, the other being ballet. In addition, folk dance are regularly featured in the student presentation during the Buwan ng Wika or National Language Month, an annual month-long homage to the national language of the Philippines, which is Filipino.
Statement of the problem. This study will aim to answer the following questions. First, how may the profile of the respondents be described in terms of sex, age, year level, and course? Second, how may the status of the Philippine folk dances be assessed in terms of knowledge of familiarity of respondents towards the status of Philippine folk dances? Philippine folk dances that students still dancing. Third, identify the sources of knowledge of the respondent about Philippine folk dances. And four, what are the factors affecting the status of Philippine folk dances? And lastly, number five, is there a significant relationship between the profile of the respondent and the status of the Philippine folk dances?
Null hypothesis. This statement indicates that there is no significant relationship between the personal characteristics of the respondents about the status of Philippine folk dances among 21st century students at Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology San Isidro campus. In other words, the personal characteristics of the respondents such as their age, gender, year level, and course do not appear to have a significant impact on their views about the current state of folk dancing at the university. This may suggest that the respondents' attitudes towards folk dancing are influenced by other factors such as their personal experiences with the dance form and their exposure to different cultural traditions. Overall, this statement suggests that there is no clear relationship between the profile of the respondents and their opinions about the status of Philippine folk dances among 21st century students at the university.
Conceptual framework. This study will determine the status of the Philippine folk dances among the 21st century students of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology San Isidro campus. This is where the framework of the study will be based on Figure 1, shows the paradigm of the study. The researchers will use the IPO model to describe the concept of inquiry. The input consists of demographic profile of the student and the essence of learning Philippine folk dances. The process will be done with the use of an adapt questionnaire and data analysis and interpretation. The output will be consist of the status of Philippine folk dances as a Filipino student and the possible implication of the result of the study.
Significance of the study to the parents. To be able for parents to expose their children to Philippine folk dances and support their children to carry its importance to the generation. Next is to the teachers. They would be able to increase the students' cultural awareness by integrating Philippine folk dances to their classroom activities. And to the community, this study will help Filipino citizens to realize the vital role that they play in order to preserve the culture of Philippine folk dance. To the students, this study will help students to become aware and knowledgeable about the status of the Philippine folk dance. And to the future researchers, may use this study as a foundation for their research. They can use the study as a pattern so their research could be more valid and acceptable.
The main objectives of this study is to determine the essence of learning Philippine folk dances. The first year and second year college students of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology San Isidro campus in the school year 2022 to 2023 will be the respondents of the study. The study will be conducted at Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology San Isidro campus, which is located at Jose Abad Avenue, Poblacion, San Isidro, Nueva Ecija, to be feasible and efficient in order to be time constrained.
Definition of terms. Banga dance tells a story of Filipino woman's strength, resilience, and grace. Binasuan. The word binasuan means which of the use of drinking glasses, Cariñosa. The Cariñosa is Spanish pronunciation, cariñosa, meaning loving and affectionate. Is a Philippine dance of colonial era origin from the Maria Clara suite of the Philippine folk dance contemporary art, the term used of art of the present day. Culture defined is all the way of life including arts, beliefs, and institutions of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Tukso, meaning dance is performed solemnly and reverently because it's a part of the Kalingaon, which is related Thanksgiving, refreshments, supplication, and consultation of the nature spirits.
Overview of review-related literature, sex and age. Folk dancing is a type of dancing that is often associated with a particular culture or region. It is typically passed down from generation to generation and reflects the traditions, customs, and history of the people who practice it. When students are interested and motivated towards folk dancing, it means that they have a positive attitude towards learning this type of dance and are eager to participate in the activities associated with it. This can lead to better performance and a deeper understanding of the theoretical and practical aspect of folk dancing. Additionally, learning folk dancing can contribute to the students' overall skill, intellectual, and personality development as it allows them to explore different cultural traditions and gain a better understanding of their own heritage and history. Year level and course. Students in the pretest suggest that they have a certain level of knowledge and understanding of folk dance, but may still need some guidance or assistance in order to fully master the skills and techniques involved in the dance. This is often referred to as developing in terms of performance level, as it indicates that the students have a basic understanding of the subject matter but still have room for growth and improvement. In this case, it may be helpful for the students to receive additional support or instruction in order to help them fully understand the authentic tasks involved in folk dance and improve their performance. Knowledge of familiarity about Philippine folk dances. When a study finds that the general knowledge of students about folk dancing is good, it means that the students have a solid understanding of the subject matter. In this context, general knowledge likely refers to the students' understanding of the history, traditions, and cultural significance of folk dancing. In general, having a good general knowledge of folk dancing can help students gain a deeper appreciation and understanding of the dance form and its cultural significance. Philippine folk dances. Folk dances like folk songs, paintings, legends, and epics are an important part of Filipino culture. They are traditional dances that are passed down from generation to generation and are deeply rooted in the history and traditions of a particular region or place. Folk dances often reflects the values, beliefs, and experiences of the people who dance them, and they provide a glimpse out into the cultural heritage and traditions of the Philippines. Many folk dances are performed to the accompaniment of traditional music or folk songs, and they often feature unique movements and choreography that are specific to the culture from which they originated. Overall, folk dances are an important part of the Filipino culture landscape and provide a rich and diverse artistic expression of the country's history and traditions. Knowledge or sources of knowledge about Philippine folk dances. When students or teachers feature folk dances in their class and programs, it is important to approach the dances with respect for the diverse musical cultures which they originated. One way to do this is to collaboratively select a diverse repertoire of folk dances that represent a range of cultures and traditions. This can help students gain a deeper understanding and appreciation of the cultural significance of folk dancing, and it can provide an inclusive and respectful learning environment for all students. By featuring folk dances in their classes and programs in this way, teachers and students can foster an appreciation of cultural diversity and promote understanding and respect for different musical traditions. Factors that affecting Philippine folk dances. Fishbeck's research suggests that the nature of dance is to constantly evolve and adapt to new influences and changing environments. This means that the factors that affect Philippine folk dance are constantly shifting and changing. Some of the factors that may influence the evolution of folk dances in the Philippines include cultural and societal changes, the influence of other dance forms and traditions, and the availability of resources and support for dance education and performance. Additionally, the personal experiences of artistic vision of individual dancers and choreographers can also play a role in shaping the evolution of folk dances in the Philippines. Overall, in the Philippines, evolution of folk dances is a complex and dynamic process that is influenced by a wide range of factors.
Research design. The descriptive correlational research design method will be used in obtaining information needed in this study. The descriptive correlational design investigates relationships between variables without researcher controlling or manipulating any of them. Descriptive research involves the identification of attributes of a particular phenomenon based on observational basis or the exploration of the correlational between two or more phenomena. This method also used to investigate the direction and magnitude of relationships among variables in a particular population. Likewise, it is designed to study changes in one characteristic or phenomenon that corresponds to another. Descriptive research design will be used in this study because it aims to identify the status of Philippine folk dances in the 21st century.
Sample and sampling techniques. The respondent of this study will be the first and second year college of education students that will be randomly selected at Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, San Isidro Campus, school year 2022 and 2023. The first and the second year students were chosen because they are included in the 21st century learners.
Research instrumentation. The researcher will use three-part questionnaire. The first part of the instrument consists of items that will gather the demographic profile of respondents such as their name, age, sex, year level, and course. The second part of the questionnaire inquires about the knowledge and familiarity of the respondents with Philippine folk dance. The third part of the questionnaire deals with the hindering factors in Philippine folk dance.
Statistical treatment of data. The following statistical tools were used to treat the gathered data in order to answer the questions identified in the statement of the problem. First, we have the frequency and percentage. It was used to determine the proportion of the respondents who answer in a certain way. This tool is used to identify the number and percentage who respond in a certain way. The frequency determines the demographic profile of the students in terms of age, sex, year level, and course. Second, we have the weighted mean. Weighted mean is the mean of each weighted value when it is multiplied by some weight. It determines the level of an agreement the respondent mostly mark. Third and lastly, we have the Pearson correlation. Pearson correlation were used to determine the relationship between the profile of the respondents and their knowledge and familiarity with Philippine folk dances.
Okay, next in screen, we have our sample of the questionnaire, which includes the socio-demographic of the respondents. It has sex, age, section, year level. Next is the knowledge and familiarity of respondents towards the states of Philippine folk dances. Here, at the questionnaire, they have to put, if they strongly agree, they have to put 4, and if they agree, 3, and if they disagree, they have to put 2, and 1 if they strongly disagree. At A, we have the knowledge and familiarity of respondents towards the status of Philippine folk dances. It's 20 items. And letter B is Philippine folk dances that students still dancing. Also, we have the ratings with 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4 is always, 3 is often, 2 is sometimes, and 1 is never. This is also 20 items, which includes the Philippine folk dances, the list of Philippine folk dances. Next is the source of knowledge about Philippine folk dances. First, at the source of knowledge is the teacher. Second is the parents. Third is the friends. Next is television, school, society, internet, and social media. Next is the factors affecting the Philippine folk dances. This has 10 items, 10 statement. They have to put 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4 if they are strongly agree, 3 if they are agree, 2 if they are disagree, and 1 if they are strongly disagree. And that's our final sample of questionnaire. Thank you.